Hi, everyone. Brian Weedeye, Pastapadre here with TJ Lowerman, ThatSportsGamer. So let's go ahead and take a trip down memory lane briefly. Back in February 2013, the PlayStation 4 was announced. It included a number of features, some of which haven't come to fruition yet, one of which is now starting to materialize with an announcement today. Back then, there was a feature talked about how friends would be able to jump into other people's games and essentially help them along in that game, assist them with it, or maybe even show them how to do something. Uh, we didn't hear much about that until more recently when at E3 this year, Far Cry 4 had a demo and a trailer and the announcement that in that game you would able to join a friend's game even if the person joining doesn't own the game at all. So I wrote an article about that back then because there were a lot of intriguing possibilities it could present for all games, but including sports games especially. Now, today at Gamescom, Sony fulfilled that early promise by announcing for this fall a feature called SharePlay. Uh, that will allow a friend, without owning the game, to come into another person's game and play co-op with them. Essentially, it's an offline co-op being played online as opposed to a competitive online mode. So the example they used was invite your friend to an online game playing as the Miami Heat against the San Antonio Spurs in NBA 2K. So you're not playing against your friend necessarily, as far as they've said so far, but you can play with them against the computer. Sony says this will apply to all games, though I would imagine publishers would be allowed to opt out of it. We'll have to see on that. So, TJ, when you read about this feature, what did you first think about it? And then give me any ideas that came to mind on how it could play a role with sports games.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I was actually pretty excited because as long as there's not big issues with streaming the game over to the friend and like a delay in the lag of actually using the controls, this could be pretty huge, especially since we've learned that Madden's not going to have a demo. So when Madden comes out and we're playing, I can just be like, hey, why don't you hop into this game and we'll play and see how it works for us. I assume it's just going to kind of be like the other person's going to be a virtual controller. Maybe that's how it would work for sports games. So maybe you could literally just do an exhibition game and your controller would be player one and they'd be player two and it could just slide over.
Yeah, or they can essentially take over control of your console. One example they've used is just allowing the friend to come in and just take over the complete control and get that person who's maybe stuck in a spot in a story mode or something, get them past that part so they can continue on, or show them how to get past that part to continue on.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty cool. Not so much in sports games though. Actually, now that I say that, my biggest problem with FIFA is I don't know how to do the whole career mode managery thing because I don't understand any of the transfers. But if I can just have a friend that's online and just be like, hey, you know what you're doing, can you just do this and just let me know when you're ready for me to play a game? That would be pretty genius.
Yeah, when I thought about you, I thought about Ultimate Team. That's kind of your area of greatest expertise, where you spend the most time. And for a lot of people, and I know you like to teach people how to do different things in various games, help them along. For a lot of people, Ultimate Team, for example, is a bit overwhelming at the start. There are so many different places to go. Where are you putting your cards? What are collections? What's a binder? Where is everything? How are you putting your team together best in terms of things like chemistry? The idea that you would be able to hop in someone else's game and actually show them some different things to help them along, I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome now that you mention it, because definitely if someone's like, my team is good, but I feel like I'm not using them right, they could just give me control and I can be like, well, pop this guy here, move this wide receiver into the slot, switch up, put your left tackle, put your tackles as guards because they're faster so they can pull better. I mean, that's pretty brilliant.
Yeah,
I think we're going to utilize this a lot.
Yeah, and like you said, as far as possibly replacing demos, which may be going away within the next few years based on the trends we're seeing, in addition to subscription type services like EA Access, this could be another way. And one of the issues with demos all along has been it's such a small slice of a game. You don't really get a feel for the game from it necessarily. You don't get to see various features. But if I bought the game, and TJ, you're not interested necessarily, or you're curious about buying the game, but you're not sure it's worth your $60, and I allow you to hop in and say, here, play with me for a few minutes. What do you think? Play in this mode as opposed to just 2-minute quarters of a demo. I think that might give you a even better idea of what that product could offer you.
Yeah, I will no longer get stuck having to buy NBA Live when Rich says it's great.
Yeah, let Rich say what he wants, and then he has to prove it to you then and allow you into his game so that you can experience it for yourself.
Yeah, and this fixes in the digital future that I live in. If I wanted to go over to my brother-in-law's house and play a game, I would have to bring it to him. Mm-hmm. But now I can say, why don't I just stream it over to you, and you can play with me, and we're golden.
Yeah, I mean, why even leave our houses anymore these days?
I mean, if I guess I can get food delivered, I see no reason to leave except to go to work. So if I do get work to let me work from home, would be set.
Yeah, I initially, especially way back in 2013 when they first announced the idea of it, I thought this would be a great teaching tool. There's plenty of research that EA Sports, 2K Sports, Sony, they do that says people have difficulty grasping sports games if they haven't played them in a few years or they haven't played them at all. It's a very difficult game to get accustomed to get comfortable with. And it's hard for us to sometimes understand that because we play them every year. We essentially have them built in. It's natural that nothing is changing too dramatically every year, so we're used to everything about it. But when somebody new comes in, these games are seriously overwhelming. They are very tough to learn and tough to get good at. And this is absolutely a teaching tool. I could see somebody saying, let's go into practice mode in Madden. I'm going to show you how to beat the cover 2. Here you go. Now you try it. I think that's an awesome potential use of share play in the future.
Yeah, I hope people actually use it like that and not just play online. I hope they use it to the full extent of its capabilities.
Well, I think we will.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's the important thing. I think it opens up a lot of possibilities for those people who do want to contribute and help other people, and that's really all you can ask for. Some people are going to utilize features in ways that are helpful, and some are just going to have fun with them, which is fine too, of course. But yeah, any final thoughts on this?
Have they said how many people you can do it with? Is it only one at a time?
Yeah, I think so. As far as I'm aware, I don't think you're going to be bringing multiple people in.
Because how crazy? I mean, it's stupid from the jump, but what if you had a 32-man Madden league all playing off one copy of Madden?
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, they're not going to allow that. Plus,
we're going to try it.
We can try, but I'm pretty sure the publishers would have an issue with that. That's why, again, I think they specified, co-op specifically, and they call it offline. I don't remember what they called it, offline co-op or whatever it is. But the idea of playing together with someone as opposed to competitively, which I think is where publishers say this is where we sell games. If we let people go on and play their friends in Call of Duty against in just online games without owning it, then they're not going to feel the need to buy it. But but co-op wise, they could come and enjoy the experience and maybe say, hey, I need to buy this game for myself. I really like it.
Yeah, I just hope that it's at the system level and it's not something where games are going to need separate modes that are made just for this. Because that could kind of kill it. Because they mentioned Towerfall in the blog post. That's something I want to play with people. But currently that's only a local co-op game. Also the same with Nidhogg, which I don't know if that's out yet, but that's something I want to play, but I don't have another person to play with it. And if I could just be like, hey, Brian, hop on, let's play, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I think there's a lot still to be answered about this feature, and it's something I'll definitely be monitoring as we go forward, and we'll definitely write about and talk about when it starts to roll out this fall. So everyone, thanks for listening to this short podcast that we put together for SharePlay, and make sure to visit our websites, pastapadre.com and thatsportsgamer.com, which TJ hopes is live and up when you're listening to this. And visit us on Twitter at Pastapadre and at ThatSportsGamer. Thanks, everyone. Until next time, take care.